great pleasure right now to welcome a woman who is really making a name for herself in the acting profession, and with the Sarasota Film Festival coming up this week, she's going to be having a screening of her latest film. It's called A Prime of Your Life. Be two screenings, April 10th and April 12th. We'll find out about that. She makes her home both down here in Florida and up in New York City. We're joined by Nicole Abisinio today by telephone. Nicole, thanks for being with us. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
It's good to talk to you. I'm glad our mutual friend Ann Corcoran gave us your contact information, because it's great to talk to people that are keeping the film business alive. And I know here in Sarasota, with a lot of talk lately about perhaps getting a studio built down here. I guess that's kind of good for people like yourself in the movie industry, right?
Yes. I mean, any efforts for the filmmaking community here is always, a blessing and an assistance, for what we're doing. So it's great.
How important is that for somebody like yourself, a film coming out called Prime of Your Life? These film festivals really help, don't they, get kind of the buzz out about a movie?
Some festivals are great. They're a way for us to showcase our work, and it's especially wonderful to be able to, bring it to a home festival. This is my home, so to have friends and family and just the community in general. And we also worked so hard. We shot some of the film in Sarasota. The majority of it was shot in St. Petersburg, but we were here for about 4 days in town, so it'll be nice to highlight the locations in downtown Sarasota.
Oh, that's great. I know over the last few years, this area is kind of grown as far as a location. I guess there's so many different parts of Sarasota, as you know, growing up down here, that make good movie backdrops. So that must have been kind of fun for you.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful place. The thing with Prime of Your Life, though, is that it's a New York City story. Mm-hmm. So it was great shooting it in Florida and saying that, we can shoot. People do look at the movie and they think it's a big city. They don't realize that we shot here. So I think that's really beneficial, because then more northern companies can come down and shoot and just do their exteriors up in New York City.
Now, you grew up down here. Did you go to high school in Sarasota, or where'd you go to high school?
I did. I actually went to Booker VPA for 1 year, and then I was at Sarasota High for a year, and then they were let me go straight to college after that.
You're a tornado and a sailor, so that's pretty good.
That's true. That's very true.
Now, how did you, after high school and college, how did you make your way into the acting profession? Just like the normal way, where you just hit New York and do the auditions, or what was your path so far?
My path as an actress as opposed to a producer was really that I had been doing it since I was maybe 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. I was doing theater. I got my professional start actually working with the Oslo when I was in Sarasota. I remember the first show I did was my freshman year in high school, was Romeo and Juliet, and doing commercials and shows throughout Florida. So I kind of built up a base here and done everything that I could until I had to go to New York. You kind of get to a point in this market where you top out. So I took my resume and everything that I had done up to New York and went from there.
Well, you mentioned the Oslo, which has a great reputation. I think about a year or so ago they had a show down here that went right to Broadway after being at the Oslo. So that's got to help having that credit in your resume, right?
Oh, I'm sure. They're so professional. It was great working with them. And I actually grew up also at FST. When I was a kid, I went there. So I had a lot of really strong training here in town. It's a really good artistic community. I don't think people elsewhere realize that. How
important is doing theater when you prepare for a film career? I mean, there are different types of acting, I guess, but I guess theater is the really one place you really have to learn how to build a part from beginning to end, isn't it?
I was just on an amazing acting panel for the Gasparilla International Film Festival in Tampa just last week, and there was just such talent on there, like Armando Sante and Kathy Laughlin, who's an amazing casting director, and they were saying the same thing that I was, which is basically, you have to have theater. Everybody looks at theater because it is the true discipline and the true heart of what you do as an actor. Because actors, theater is the only acting medium. Television and film, it's the producer's medium or it's the editor's medium. They can always change it. They have control of it. But when you're on stage as an actor, there's nobody helping you. You're the only one out there. So you really need to, hone your craft and make sure that you're always prepared. And I think that carries over into film work.
There's no calling cut in theater, right? You just got to keep going. You're on the stage.
That is true. I mean, I've been on stage when, a fire broke out, and you just put out the fire, literally a fire broke out.
Wow.
But it helped me keep acting.
Well, let's talk about the film. It's called Prime of Your Life. You mentioned it's kind of a New York story. I saw the trailer of it, which is up on your Facebook page, a great trailer. Talk a little bit about how that story came about and how you got involved with it.
Yes, and you can also watch the trailer and check out everything on the movie on the website, which is primeofyourlifemovie.com.
Mm-hmm.
I was in New York, and I was acting, and it finally had gotten to the point, because, when you go to the city, you're really, you're struggling to make it. You're basically starting from scratch. And I was starting to get really good acting jobs in movies. I was getting to that point where I was getting offers, but I was turning down a lot of stuff because of the content. Either, a lot of the female roles were just, it's always the wife or the mistress, or, it's a secondary role, or there's nudity involved, and those were just things that I, as an actress, I wasn't interested in that. I wanted something that was going to challenge me. And I realized that the way to do that was really to work and create my own work and to find scripts that I was passionate about. And that's kind of how I got into producing and casting and all the production side, because if you really want to have control over the art and over, what message you're sending to the world, that's the only way to do it.
And this is going to be screened at the Film Festival on April 10th, which is a Saturday, and then again on Monday the 12th. Do you have the times for those screenings, Nicole?
Yes, April 10th is at 9:15 p.m. That's going to be our Saturday night premiere, and then we also have a Monday matinee at 2:45 p.m. Both of those are at Hollywood 20 down on Main Street. But I'm really excited about the movie. When it originally came about, all the pieces just kind of fell into place at the time that they were supposed to, and I've been working on a movie, this is going back maybe 3 years ago, with Bill Murray and Jim Jarmusch, actually, had cast me in a film. And if I had not done that and he had not given me that chance, I wouldn't have been able to have some of the cast members that I have. And the lead actor is named Ryan Donahue, who has done, such an, amazing work. He starred in this movie called Imaginary Heroes with Emile Hirsch and Sigourney Weaver, and he started on the OC for a while, but he's done a lot of really good indie films. And I actually met him working on the set of Broken Flowers, along with a couple other actors that ended up in this film. And Ryan just won Best Actor for Prime at our last festival. And the actor that won that last year was Mark Ruffalo. So I feel like he's in really good company, and he actually gets to show, how talented he is.
You meet people along the way that you never know later on how they may come back and affect your life. And I guess that's one of the great things about the acting profession, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that the thing that's most important, aside from art, is that it is a business. It's show business, and relationships and bringing that together is so important. That's kind of where the magic happens, because you want to be working with good people. If you're locked up with them for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, basically, and we don't really take time off.
Well, Nicole Abisinio has been our guest, and again, the name of the movie is Prime of Your Life, and check out the website. It's primeofyourlifemovie.com. Is that right?
Yes, thank you so much, and we appreciate the support for everyone coming out for local filmmaking.
And it's always great to talk to a local person who's doing well in the business, and we'll look forward to talking to you again real soon. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.